An adventure. It requires a certain amount of spontaneity. And in most cases, we don't even realize what spontaneous behavior requires from us. But on my last day in Cusco, I decided, I'll give it a try. A willing person, that's a trusting person. We must trust not only ourselves, but the people around us. And taking someone's hand and trusting them with our sanity, that is tough. But I decided to trust today. And when I overlooked the city of Cusco, my soul felt as though it was flying so high in the sky. Suddenly, it was so apparent that an adventure is exactly what I needed today. It was at this moment of clarity when my Airbnb host, who was showing me around the city, told me, "I've got some work to take care of. I'll meet you at the house." It's often at inopportune times when our instincts are finally kicked in and put into practical use in the real world. But it is what it is. And suddenly I was left with no other choice than to be open to what's in front of me. And that's when a young artist came up to me, showing me some of his paintings. So as one person to another, I wanted to support this guy's art. A shift was beginning to happen inside of me down there, and time was losing its allure. And suddenly I was just open to experiencing what life had for me. I welcomed things for the first time that I was often too distracted to notice before, like the sun and even the feeling of annoyance because people wouldn't quit trying to sell me. My friend, do you remember me? Pablo Picasso of Cusco? And as the guy opened his briefcase to show me his drawings, a frustrating reality stared me in the face. He had the same paintings as the other artist. Anger began to overtake me as I looked at the painting I bought. The reality that I had been got was infuriating. But as the moments ticked away, I noticed something. For the first time in years, I was forced to process how I felt in that moment. Plaza De Armas exposed me to the price that I had to pay to be vulnerable enough to go on a spontaneous adventure. And though that price seemed expensive, I got something so much more important. My soul. Our souls are trapped deep in our subconscious. It lives outside the realms of time, and it's crying alone in a cell, afraid that it will never be reunited with you ever again. It knows that you need to face fear, anger, resentment, expectations, and even control. But your soul is aware that after a few fights, you get tired and it'll be alone, hoping that you'll come save it, but knowing that you probably won't. But when I faced every enemy that was trapping my soul, my eyes were made new and my mind was reworked to see things differently. And in order to solidify my new reality, I needed to rectify past mistakes and let my soul know that it's truly free. And that's when I saw an artist sitting down on the sidewalk. He was someone who didn't talk much and let his work speak for itself. But the sad thing is that people weren't noticing him. The connection that I felt to him was otherworldly. My soul yearned to support someone who was free and showed courage by exposing who he truly is to the world. And in that moment, I had just given my soul permission to be free and make the choice to do what is real to me. And I bought his drawing. And it's the most beautiful thing I purchased during my whole entire trip. When we're adulting, a life-changing moment can come in the blink of an eye. And if we're open to what it is that life is trying to show us, then we will leave out of our adventure with something that we've been trying to find our whole lives. The real us. When I left Cusco, I left with myself. A person who can make up for the past. A person who can push himself through any situation with just one moment at a time. And that person can look past the ugliness and find what makes life worth living.